Hello, and welcome to Book Reviews Kill, a podcast about fantasy, sci-fi, and horror novels. I'm Chad,
And I'm Evan.
and you are listening to our first ever cover of House of Dragons.
I think it's House of the Dragon.
House of the Dragons?
For some reason, I want to keep calling it
Or is it
House
just-
of Dragon or something.
Is it one dragon or many?
I don't know. It's one dragon. It's House of the Dragon.
Oh, okay, because I have
Yeah.
House of Dragons written in my
I thought it was the House of Dragon. Like the house was literally called. It's like Dragon House.
Dragon House, which should be a house of its
Sir
own.
Draco of Dragon House. Sir Draco
Yeah.
Dragon. Oh my God. Okay, let's just get this out of the way. This show rocks. It's really good. Oh
It
my
rocks.
God. It's so good. It's so
It's freaking
oh.
amazing. It's everything I wanted it to be and a bag of chips.
I was so shocked, Chad, like because I was trying to play it cool, right? I was trying to play it cool. The first, a couple times that we talked about this, I was just like, it's probably going to be okay, but if it's not okay, it's going to be fine, whatever. Like, I don't know how it could stack up to Game of Thrones, all this stuff, and I was trying to be no, it's good. It's at least fifth season of Game of Thrones good.
Yeah.
I don't know yet if it's only been 2 episodes, right? So
Yes.
we're doing episode 1 on this episode, and then we're going to do another episode 2 episode, and then hopefully we'll have the episode 3 episode out Monday morning for everybody, along with the Monday Morning Minute.
I've only watched the first episode.
Oh, you haven't watched episode 2 yet?
No, I watched
Okay,
episode
that's
two
good
yet.
to know for us going into this, because I just watched both of them, like back to
Oh.
back. Yeah, it was awesome. It was
Yeah,
so
I watched
cool.
it when the first one came out, and I wish I would have saved it for 2 because like a doubly experience, like a 2-hour long.
Yeah, that's what I did.
marinating in this would
Yeah.
have been fantastic.
Oh, I did it right, man. I like ordered like a burrito
Oh,
and
good for you.
like a cookie, and like I just like sat.
What sort
I
of
like,
cookie?
A chocolate chip, of course.
Hell yeah.
The best cookie.
I'm a snickerdoodle fan myself, but I love chocolate chips.
So, whatever.
We can still be friends. Okay.
Okay. But yeah, so I like nestled up in my couch and I turned off. I didn't turn off my phone, but I like put my phone across the room, put it on silent, and I just like watched both episodes of it.
Oh,
So about 5 minutes into the first season or first episode, I was like, "All right, we're good." Oh,
okay.
We're good.
Okay.
and it was just from there, everything was fine.
Yep.
And I'm so not used to it. I'm so not used to my expectations actually being met about something because it never seems to fucking happen anymore with anything. And it's
A lot of
just,
disappointment.
I feel like we're all so desensitized. Like we're like the eye of the Wheel of Time show is coming out. Here comes the hype. Oh my God.
Dude.
It's
it was-
okay.
it's all
okay.
right.
It's fine. You know?
Yeah, like would the world be continue going without it? Totally. Like it's
For
fine.
sure.
You know?
This I am so happy. I found myself over the last day or two thinking to myself, like, this is the first time that I've watched a TV show in a long time where I've been genuinely sad that I can't watch the next episode.
Yes.
Like I-
legitimately sad. Like,
Yeah, I mean, like,
wow,
there's-
I
yeah,
want
there's
more of
been
this
others.
now.
I want more of it. I want to see what happens. They did such an excellent job with this show. And I was hoping that there was going to be, at least for quality purposes of this podcast episode, I was kind of in the back of my mind hoping, like, hopefully it's a little bit mid so that Chad and I can have some more constructive conversations about it. Because I'm sorry, folks, that's all this episode is going to be. It's me and Chad talking
Once
about
again,
how fucking
you
awesome
got
this
a
show is. Like,
Bucket of gushers.
this is Gushers.
Dude,
we should
it's
just call
so
this episode.
good.
Yeah.
It's so
yeah.
good. I right from the get-go, when we see Harrenhal, that's the name where like all the kings come together. Yeah. We
Right.
see that hall. That is how the hall looked in my mind
Yeah.
when I read the books.
It's like a total
Iron
just
Throne?
disaster of a castle.
Oh, it's
The
just,
iron,
like,
what they
broken.
did with the Iron Throne, where it's all
Oh.
those swords everywhere. It's not even just yeah. Oh my God, it's just they put so much time and effort into this. You can tell, and I'm thinking now, can you imagine knowing the quality of this show and seeing the kind of like tepid response from the internet of like the ad campaigns that they were doing? Because I didn't see
Right.
any hype about this at
Me
all.
neither.
Like, and I'm plugged in, like I'm on the hype train,
Right. It was
I'm-
only content creators.
It's really, really interesting. It's so good. It's just,
So good.
it's way better than like The Witcher. And I like The Witcher, you
Yeah.
know, but it's just,
Yeah.
there's
It's in a
that,
different class.
it's got that grit,
Majesty
that Game of
juice.
Thrones grit. And I really love all of the characters so
Me
far.
too.
I mean, there's
Me
not any
too.
character where I'm like, I don't know if
Didn't
that was
hit.
the right guy, or like, what are they doing here? You know, what
At
is she
first, I
doing
thought the
here?
king was. I wasn't gonna
No,
like him, but I love
no,
him.
he's like my favorite character in the whole
He's
show.
great. He's
He is
great.
magnificent. Like that conversation. Oh, wait, no, never mind. Hang on. I gotta remember that you've only watched the first episode.
Oh yeah, no, no, don't
Okay,
spoil.
sorry.
No,
So I'm trying my very best. You should watch. Never mind. We're not going to talk about the
I
second
want to
episode
do it see
anyway.
episode by
I see what you're
episode, so
doing.
that
I
way
see
you
what you're
know.
doing. All right, so I have some questions. At least
Okay,
we can dig into something. Don't Targaryens have purple eyes?
I thought so.
I thought so too.
It's
And
like a
it's like,
unique thing. They have like lavender is kind of what I always saw, like Britt Stewart in eyes.
why can't they just even if it looks weird, which it would, it would look
Totally, and then
really
because they already have
weird.
like the super white hair, and then they also
Yeah,
have
it
like
would look
blue
very
eyes.
weird.
But like
I
that's okay. They're
just
supposed
do
to
it.
from like generations of
I don't know.
inbreeding.
It's like if you can make Geralt's eyes look all weird for the entirety of that whole show for The Witcher,
Yeah.
you can do it for these characters. Even if it's digital, like make their
Oh,
eyes at
totally.
least like kind of purple.
Like, dude, they're contacts. You can make your eyes purple tomorrow if you want, and live all week.
If I have like one kind of like, why didn't they just do it? It was that,
Yeah,
you know.
I
Um,
agree.
I'm
Maybe it was because the Daenerys didn't have purple eyes, so they were like, we can't
break it. You know
break
what's
it.
something interesting that I did notice, and I don't know if you noticed this, and I don't know if I'm just looking for this, but I think I'm right. Is you notice that the way that everybody talks is a little bit more, how do you say, like archaic?
I
Like
didn't really notice
they
that.
don't use like contractions as often, and they will say like mine own instead of my own.
Oh, and like
Uh,
these and thous, it's a little more
like
old
you
Englishy.
it's just it adds just a little bit more like this is from 175 years ago, you know.
Oh,
And I don't know if they did that on purpose. I don't know, but it's something that I noticed. Maybe it's just because I haven't watched Game of Thrones in a while. They talk like that in Game of Thrones, but I don't really think.
hmm
I think that they might have done it as like a stylistic choice to kind of like separate the two eras because
right.
it's a
Like we're
long
back in
time.
time.
It's a very
Totally,
long time. I think that these are the events of the Dance of Dragons.
I think so too.
Yeah, I haven't read Fire and Blood. I'm
Neither
not
have
like
I.
super brushed up on like Targaryen lore.
So, did you notice that the first time that we see the girl Rhaenyra, right? Is her
Rhaenyra.
name? Rhaenyra, thank you. Rhaenyra, she flies in, swoops in on her majestic and so awesome dragon, and we see the city, and we get to see the dragon pit, which was really cool because it was
Yeah.
broken in Game of Thrones. We get to see
Hmm.
that all healed up. Did you notice that the theme music that's played is Daenerys's
Yeah.
theme music? Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like she's gonna be like a similar sort of person, a powerful woman who's destined to lead many.
Well, and you know what's interesting too is that we already know that all of this ends in disaster. This is the really interesting part about this show is, you know, with something like Game of Thrones, especially seeing as the source material hadn't been finished yet, nobody knew what the hell it was headed towards. But
Right.
I mean, if this sticks to canon in even like a most of it, you know, I don't know what liberties they're taking with changing stuff. I don't imagine why they would need to, but they did it with Game of Thrones. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that they changed in Game of Thrones. So
Totally.
they are George R. R. Martin has said like pretty explicitly that they're not the same thing. Like
Right.
he's never wanted them to be the exact same thing, which I get to a certain. I get it. You know,
Yeah.
there are different mediums. But anyway, yeah, the music in the show is there's a lot of like callbacks to the
Yeah.
score in Game of Thrones, which I think is really
Very
clever.
cleverly done.
Yeah, and it's good that they're not doing the exact same thing though. You
Mhm.
know, for like everything. The music is pretty similar though,
It's pretty
obviously.
similar. If I had one disappointment, it's that there was literally no intro. It was like they were like, we can't do a better job than the cog thing, and so we're not even gonna try. Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, just keep watching it.
Oh,
You
okay.
know,
Okay, cool, cool,
I'm
cool,
not
cool, cool.
saying anything.
Okay, cool. Well,
Um,
because I was like, man, I want to give me some cogs and like machine movings and names and stuff. Like, man, I was missing that. So cool.
do you have a favorite character?
Yes. Oh, definitely. It's whose name I can't remember. It's the son. It's the brother of the king,
Damon.
Damon.
The guy
Damon
who
is awesome.
was that guy one of the doctors, like a Doctor Who doctor?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty
Okay,
sure.
he has a
I'm pretty
very
sure.
recognizable face. I don't
Yeah.
really watch Doctor Who, but I think
Neither do I. I only watched one season.
yeah, it's Matt Smith. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's the
Okay.
11th Doctor. Okay, because I knew it like right when he showed up, I was like, wait a minute, that guy, I recognize him. I don't know what from, but he is
Yeah,
doing such a good job at that
such a
role.
good job. Oh my
He's
gosh.
just he's just like a Targaryen, you
He's a
know?
Targaryen.
Yeah,
He's sweating Targaryen. Like
yeah,
he
yeah.
just needs to like hook up with his sister and he's solid Targaryen.
I know. I thought they were gonna have him hook up with
I know,
Rhaenyra,
he
and I
still
was just
might.
like, like, because yeah, there's they all sleep with each other and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna get weird. It's gonna
Okay,
get
who's
weird
your
up in
favorite
Westeros.
character? He's definitely mine.
Um, I don't know. It's kind of a toss up. So like, I really like the king. Viserys is fantastic. I think he's doing a really great job. I like Rhaenyra a lot.
Hmm.
Rhaenyra is. I like her. Honestly, I like her more than Daenerys already. Like
Really?
she's even cooler than Daenerys. And I've watched both episodes. So,
Right.
but anyway, yeah, we'll try to keep it to this episode, obviously. But I really like Otto Hightower, the Hand of the King.
Oh yeah, man, I liked him in that I didn't like him. Like he's doing such a good job, but he's like, oh, he's just such a punchable face, you know. You just want to like hit him.
Yeah, but we need that. We need that conniving, spidery snake guy. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like
yeah.
he's really. I like.
He's not wearing. He doesn't have the brooch though. The
Yeah, he does.
brooch.
He's
Does
wearing it
he?
later. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I missed it
Um.
one because I was confused. I was like, who's the hand here? And then finally I figured it out.
Oh, I liked Corlys too. The guy with the white dreads.
Oh yeah, he was kind of an interesting. I kind of want to hear like, is
You
he
will.
from like the
Yeah.
seafaring folk in the south or
Yeah.
something? Like,
Totally. So kind of connected also with the Targaryens.
what was his
Um.
name?
Corlys. Corlys. I think.
Corliss. Okay, cool.
Um. Really excellent character. I mean, geez, man. Like all of
All of them were
It's
good.
so cool, man. Like I'm like so relieved. I'm so relieved that like nice, this is good. Now all we need is for Rings of Power to be excellent, and
Dude,
we've got to bang and
it's
fall,
like
you
it's
know?
like too good to hope for. It's too good to hope for.
Right.
I'm just expecting it's terrible, but like, man, I would be so cool if it was as good as this show in regards to my expectations.
You know what's really interesting too is that we're seeing these houses that we had kind of heard about in Game of Thrones, like the high towers that are kind of up, like pretty high up in the chain, right?
Hmm.
And then by the time Game of Thrones comes around, they're like totally obsolete
Yeah,
houses,
the high
right?
towers are like little piss ants by the
Yeah,
time Game of Thrones rolls around, but like Allison is like her BFF, like obviously in.
yeah, totally. And it's really, really cool. It just really goes to show that this is all so flexible. Like it's all just in this
Right.
total state of flux and
It
chaos.
is
And
the Game of
yeah,
Thrones.
yeah, I really like that a lot. Man,
Me too.
also another notice that I had, they really did not hold back with the violence in this show. Like, oh
Nor the
my
sex.
God. Like I forgot. Like I was like leaning forward, like my burrito, like half eaten,
I know.
just like staring with my mouth wide
It's like,
open during like that scene where they do like the combination like C-section scene
oh
with
my
like
God.
with the
The
jousting, like
jousting.
going,
Yeah.
oh my
I didn't
God.
know. Is it traditional in jousting that you could just be like, actually, just because you took me off my horse, it's not actually over, and then draw a sword and carry it on?
Yeah, I think
Because he
that's a
like pulls
thing.
a sword,
Yeah.
then marches, and he's like, he can. Where the Damon decides to continue in combat. You're like, wait, what? They can do that?
I think that's a thing. I did not know it was a thing that you could like straight up murder people right in front of everybody in
Yeah.
jousting. Like, cause that was weird. Cause somebody was like, "Oh, it's getting a little now it's getting rowdy," you know. And it's just like, shouldn't somebody stop this? Like, this is
Right.
ridiculous. But
Like
maybe
I get
it's
accidents
going.
happen, but like that guy just axed him in the face.
Well, you know what's interesting is it was a really shocking thing when it happened in Game of Thrones. So maybe they're like trying to nod that like this really is it's different. It's 175 years ago. You know, like this
Right.
is everything's the Targaryens are a different whole different thing, you know? Like this is not the grace and propriety that the Lannisters have.
Refinement.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
and it's not like the kind of like party do everybody chill out and do whatever Baratheons, you know?
Right.
It's not the stoic Starks. It's the fucking crazy Targaryens. Like they're crazy. They're
Absolutely.
insane people, you know.
Okay, also in jousting, are you allowed to trip the horse like he did? He like put
I don't
his
know. That was
and like I can
fucking nuts.
see it being okay. I mean, I guess no rules as long as you're running down, however you want to do it with the stick. Because like one, I would see that just being like not cool because you really hurt the horse, and horses are like a prize, like really expensive, and like also you don't want to kill the horse. But Also, you're probably super exposing yourself. So if the other guy's like a good aim, if your plan doesn't work, it could
Totally.
be
Yeah.
disastrous to you,
I can't believe we used to just like put people on horses with giant
Oh
sticks
my
and have them
goodness.
run at each other.
Run at each other and then
Awesome.
just smash them while we're all cheering. Like, man, wow.
Man, I just have a note. I just have a note here that just says I've got like my other notes and then below it it just says this shit is crazy in all caps.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I have a question. Oh, no, you were going to go. Okay, go
yeah,
ahead.
okay. Did you notice that the king gets cut multiple times throughout the episode by the throne?
Yeah.
And there's like a belief, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's like a belief in Game of Thrones that like if the throne doesn't think that you should sit on it, you'll start getting
It
hurt
cuts you
by
up.
it.
Yeah,
It cuts
totally.
you up, which is like a shitty belief, right? Because it's like, dude, it's a chair made from knives. Like
Yeah, I think
you're gonna get cut. But he starts getting cut by it more and
well, and it
more.
looks like he's
So
got some kind of like dragon rot thing going.
on his back,
Yeah, yeah, like
yeah,
something's up with him, you know?
yeah,
Like
totally.
but he is a pretty level-headed king for the most
Oh
part.
yeah,
And I could see why people would think it's like weakness, you know, but like he definitely seems to. Somebody mentioned it's been like 70 years since there was some kind of like big conflict. Like he's a king reigning in a
right. Because
time
like
of
all the knights, they
peace.
don't even know warfare. You
Right,
know.
exactly. He's a king reigning in a time of peace, and he wants to keep it that way, you know. And it feels like everybody around him is just kind of like, "Come on, let's go to war! Like, let's
Yeah,
go
come
fucking buck
on.
people up." And so there's like
They're
that
thirsting
rebellion
for a
going on
battle.
in the Sand Steppes or whatever they're called. So that's really wild.
Hmm.
There's some trouble brewing in
There is some
Westeros.
trouble be brewing. Yeah, man, that throne, it deserved to cut him because it got such an up. I was so stoked on the throne. I thought
I
that was
love, yeah,
awesome.
like the fact that those swords are like scattered around everywhere around it. Like if you
Yeah,
couldn't make the, if you didn't think that you could make the Iron Throne look even cooler, you just did
you just
with
did. Well, I
swords
mean,
all over the place.
I was not gonna lie, a little disappointed by the Game of Thrones Iron Throne because it was not the throne from the books. Like the throne from the books is like on a heaping pile of swords.
Yeah,
It doesn't have like
yeah,
four sticking out of the back, you know.
yeah. Now that you mention it, the Game of Thrones Iron Throne looks pretty dorky.
Yeah, it's pretty just like cool, dude. You have some swords in there. Now this one I can't claim as my own, but I read a article on it, and apparently there are throwouts, shout outs of other series and stuff embedded in the sword. So like there's some swords from Warcraft and some swords. There's the Witcher's sword is embedded in the throne.
Oh, like the actual throne.
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
an
that's
Easter
pretty
egg they put in
cool.
there. Yeah,
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
didn't pause it to look for them
Yeah, maybe we
myself,
could
but I did
find
read
those.
about it. Yeah, that'd be cool.
So I have a big question here.
Okay,
The kid, Balon, the baby that he wants instead of his wife to be alive, which we
right.
could talk about soon too. They didn't show the kid dying.
No.
Like I just skipped to the next scene, and then it was just not alive anymore. And I thought I missed something.
Mm-mm.
Because the maester kind of like says it's a boy, and then it like cuts to the king, and then it like cuts back to the maester, and then he has like a weird look on his face, and that's it. That's like
Uh-huh.
all that we see. I thought that was strange
Yeah.
that I mean, I guess it's like, what do you need to say? You know,
Right.
just go to the next scene, and yeah, this
But
is the
still, it was
situation.
shocking because we don't learn about it until the funeral, right?
Right.
I think that's when we learn is like someone's talking to him. It's like, man, it's rough to lose your wife and your kid. And it was like, wait, what? He died?
What are those like eggs that they're putting in front of the people on the small council? Did you notice
I
that?
I did, yeah. The marbles that they put. I
Yeah.
think it's
What
like
the
the
hell was that?
session is in order marble.
Or like I have the speaking pillow or whatever. You know.
Yeah, the conch, like
Yeah.
them from
Oh
Lord of the
yeah.
Flies.
Yeah.
I have the conch. They all have conches though. I kind of thought it was like a honorific, like I am this person, thus I hold the orb, which is a seat on the council, and when it goes in the little hole, it means council is in session.
Totally. Okay. Yeah. I was
And did you
wondering.
notice the king was the only person who wasn't holding his orb? Someone else
Yeah.
puts the kings in for him.
Interesting.
He sits down like one of the guards or something, like puts it down.
I thought it was weird that Rhaenyra is the cupbearer because I
Me
hadn't. There
too.
was like no part in Game of Thrones where like you had somebody that was that high up the ladder that was doing work like that. I get the sense that like maybe Viserys wants her around just to like observe the workings and goings on
Right?
of the small council and
Yeah,
stuff.
it'd
But
be a really good idea to put someone who you think is going to like take over as that role because they see everything, you
It
know?
just doesn't really like make sense with like the hierarchy that we're familiar with to like have somebody be doing that kind of job. I understand like a bit of like deference or something for like a king's kid, but I think maybe it's still like yet more of a nod to just like the Targaryens do things differently. You need to be ready for that when you're watching this show. They did a
Totally.
lot of good kind of like showing versus telling in this show of like this is a completely different situation. You have to get the Game of
Hmm.
Thrones stuff out of your head. Like it's good that you are familiar with a lot of this setting and stuff, but the Targaryens are a completely different monster, you know, and I'm really excited to see what kind of monster this grows into.
Oh man, it is going to be an awesome, awesome monster. Speaking of monsters, I loved all the dragon stuff. All the dragon stuff, A plus million times.
Yeah, like Daemon's dragon.
Yeah, like the way they look. We get to see the dragon like handlers, you know, there's like obviously like a
Yeah,
sect of people that are like, we are the dragon people. And they have
yeah.
like
The
really like
Dragon Keepers, yeah.
yeah, they have like little tunics, you know, and oh man, when that dragon walks down the hill on its wing knuckles to burn
It's
the
wing knuckles.
yeah, dude, oh, it's so cool. Did you notice that the yellow dragon's name is Cyrax, which is also the name of the yellow warrior guy in with like the predator haircut in Mortal Kombat?
Is that exactly his name?
Yeah, except his
Interesting.
name is CYR,
But
and
it's
I would
Cyrax.
it's Cyrax,
Interesting.
yeah.
Maybe that was George R. R. Martin's nod to Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I
Probably
think
not.
so. Because it's like, and what's the red character's name in Mortal Kombat?
Oh, I
Because
don't
it's also
remember.
something Rick, it's something dragon like also, and I want to know if like the red
There's
dragon
no
is
way.
named after that guy. Because it was like yellow dragon,
Let's save that
yellow
for the next
fighter.
episode.
All
We'll
right,
do some research on that.
okay. So I think, and I'm gonna have to do a little research myself into the like timeline here, but I'm pretty sure this is like leading up to the Targaryen Civil War. Like this is, I think that's gonna happen like next season, right? Like we're setting the stage
Yeah,
this season
right.
for a lot of these characters to like come to fruition, and the next season we're going to shake the proverbial snow globe. Am I right on
I
that?
think you're right. I mean, I'm wondering if, like, what are we gonna do here? Are we gonna do like 12 seasons of House of the Dragon and go through all 175 years until it gets to,
Jamie Lannister
like,
kills the Mad King.
right, exactly. Like, because honestly,
I'm
let's
down.
go. Like, let's
Yeah,
do it. Like, I mean, what? I got
let's
nothing going
get
on.
it.
Like, let's go.
Yeah,
Like, make
I got
make
nothing going
make
on.
20 seasons of this. Like, I don't care. You know, like, or you know what they'll probably do though is they'll probably do like an ending for this, and then they'll make this whole other show or spin-off or
Wasn't there like
whatever.
7 or 8 other spinoffs in the
I don't
works right
know,
now?
but
I'm pretty
I
sure
think
there
that's the
is.
nature of like Hollywood. Is a lot of
Like in
stuff gets
Marvel movies.
optioned and doesn't work out and stuff. But
Hmm.
I mean, I would be much more excited for a Westeros MCU type situation
Oh,
than the actual MCU.
hell yeah.
Like,
Okay,
if they
I have
keep doing it like this, like if they keep
straight
doing
up.
this level of quality for everything,
I mean,
damn,
this level of quality is. I want to know what the show's budget is. We're gonna do some research, and on the next episode, we'll hit you with some facts, guys.
like we
I
should
have a
have done
question
for
for
this
you.
episode.
No, no, this is our having fun
Ah,
at the movie. We didn't know we were going into, right?
right,
So it's like, why
yeah.
spend a bunch of time on something that we didn't know was excellent? It's deserving.
What are you
Um,
gonna ask?
is Rhaenyra and Allison Hightower lovers?
I don't know. I think it's Alicent, not
Oh, it's
Allison.
Alicent.
Yeah.
Oh,
The T. I don't
I
know. I
missed
don't.
that T.
They seem really familiar. That'd be interesting for sure.
Because she was like, I mean, I know it's like, I would lay down and put my head in your lap, maybe.
Yeah.
And that doesn't necessarily mean that we're like getting it on, but like, I don't know. It seemed like very loverly. And they had a
I
little
mean,
like lovers pat under in the garden there,
yeah. I think.
Coral.
I mean, if anything, I mean, obviously they're like super super close. I don't know. I'm kind of seeing it. Like
Yeah, I'm kind of seeing it too.
it would be a cool kind of like complication to things. But yeah, I don't
Because
know.
I think Alicent, if I have my canon correct, is like the leader of the opposing faction in the Civil War.
Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna find out. We're gonna
There's
find
some
out.
juice that's
There's some
coming.
things happening. And you know what's funny too is like if you look at like the first season of Game of Thrones, it's very very good, but it's not even close to like the fourth season. Season 3 and 4 of Game of Thrones are like the best television ever made. You
Oh,
know, it's so good.
incredible.
So I mean,
I kind of watch
and
them again.
they're so good. I mean, I really like the 5 and 6. I think seasons 5 and
Oh,
6 are fine.
all of
Like
them
they're
are
totally
great.
good.
Even seven's not bad.
Seven's not bad. There's some weird stuff in 7.
It's
Like
weird stuff in seven. Yeah.
like that kid should not have been able to run all the way back to the wall. Like,
Straight up.
yeah, they would have died. They would have
Yeah.
died. Like, anyway, we don't have to talk about Game of Thrones, but yeah, I am so excited to keep watching this show. We've got at the very end of this episode, Rhaenyra is pronounced the rightful heir to Viserys. There's never been a female heir before.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to stir some shit up. Yeah. But Daemon, like,
oh, he didn't even want it. He liked the title.
but obviously that guy, it's so funny because like everybody's just like, yeah, but like that guy can't. It's just like, yeah, but I mean, what are we going to do? And it's like, well, we have a rightful heir. And everybody's just like, yeah, but like,
Yeah,
come on.
no. Mm.
Cool. I mean, that's going to be all of our notes for this. We're going to keep these episodes pretty short and sweet, kind of sort of like a water cooler at work kind of like conversation, and then kind of back to it because I've got a bunch of other stuff to edit, and
Same.
we don't want to like dig into like every little detail. Let's just let our excitement carry over and talk about the high points, and then move on.
Yeah, I want to bounce from high point to high point to high point and hit you with the awesomeness. If you want to deep dive and nerd super hard, there is the rest of the internet.
Also, if the Rings of Power proves to be as good of a show as this, then I think we're going to be doing those too.
Oh my God.
Little
we will have
mini
to.
episodes. Yeah.
I love it. And like, yeah, it's a super cool way to experience it also is like knowing that I get to talk about it and like take all my notes and then tell you about it afterwards and have you wonderful listeners listen to it. It's fantastic.
Well, everybody, thank you so much for listening to this episode of The House of the Dragon. I said that right. Yeah, House of the Dragon, episode 1. Look out for episode 2 soon. And then Monday morning, in addition to the Monday Morning Minute, we will be having these little snippet episodes for House of the Dragon. So excited.
Man, just 2 episodes in one day. Do we love you guys or do we love you guys? And what's our Patreon link in the description beneath?
Oh, yeah. Please hit that up, please. Anyway.
Seriously, though, we do put a lot of time into this and we really appreciate it. Thank you.
Everybody, hope you have an awesome rest of your day. And of course, happy reading.
Bye, everybody.